My name is Pooja Bhand. Today's date is 18th May 2022 and today's video topic checked and unchecked exception in Java. An exception is an unwanted or unexpected event which occurs during the execution of program, that is at the runtime, that disrupt the normal flow of the program's instruction. In Java, there are two types of exceptions. First one is check exception and second one is unchecked exception. Then what is checked exceptions? These are the exceptions that are checked at a compile time. If some code within a method throws a checked exception, then the method must either handle the exception or it must specify the exception using the throws keyword. For example, consider the Java program that opens the file at location and prints the first three lines of it. The program doesn't compile because the function main use file reader and file reader method throws a checked exception. File not found exception. It also used to read line and close methods, and these methods also throws checked exception, that is IO exception, unchecked exception. These are the exceptions that are not checked at a compile time. In C++, all exceptions are unchecked, so it is not forced by the compiler to either handle or specify the exception. It is up to the programmers to be civilized and specify or catch the exceptions. In Java, exceptions under error and run exception classes are unchecked exception. Everything else under throwable is checked. Consider it compiles fine, but it works arithmetic exception when run. The compiler allows to compile because arithmetic exception is an unchecked exception. Checked exceptions are checked at a compile time. It means if a method is throwing a checked exception, then it should handle the exception using try-catch block, or it should declare the exception using the throws keyword. Otherwise, the program will give a compiler error. Why this compilation error? As I mentioned in the beginning, that checked exceptions gets checked during the compile time. Since we didn't handle or declared the exceptions, our program gave the compilation error. How to resolve the error? There are two ways to avoid this error. We will see both the way one by one. Method 1. Declare the exception using throws keyword. As we know that all the three occurrences of checked exceptions are inside the main method, so one way to avoid the compilation error is the declaration the exception in the method using throws keyword. You may be thinking that our code is throwing file not found exception and IO exception both. Then why we are declaring the IO exception alone? The reason is that IO exception is present class file not found exception, so it by default covers that. If you want, you can declare them like the public static void main through a main class. IO exception, that is file not found exception. Then what is the method 2? Handling them using try-catch blocks. The approach we have used above is not good at all. It is not the best exception. Handling practice, you should give meaningful messages for each exception type so that it would be easy for someone to understand the error. Unchecked exceptions are not checked at compile time. It means if your program is throwing an unchecked exception, and even if you didn't handle or declared the exception, the program won't give a compilation error. Most of the times, this exception occurs due to the bad data provided by user during the user programming interaction. It is up to the programmer to judge the condition in the advance that can cause such an exception and handle them appropriately. That's all about it. Thank you so much.